Hello, everyone, and welcome back to 15 Minutes with Tim Consley. And I am your host, Tim Consley. I'm excited that you all are here with us, and I am very excited to have my next guest, the lovely Joanna DeGrace. How are you doing today, Joanna?
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine, doing fine. So tell everybody who may not know you a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am actually a nurse, but I've been singing for ever since I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I was very shy, so much so that my mom was concerned and she put me in figure skating. They're trying to find something for me that it would kind of get me out of my shell. And in the end, it was choir and it was singing. And so I kind of discovered that by accident by joining choir, and then I would get the solos, and then you end up discovering a talent of yours. And then as time went on, then I discovered, hey, I really enjoy songwriting, and I love stories, I love movies, I love music and listening to the lyrics. And so it's something that I pay attention to. Like someone else might listen to a song and pay more attention to the melody or the
Right.
or the the song arrangement. For me, it's really the lyrics. And yeah, so it's always been like a passion of mine, but I recently just kind of had the courage to release it to the world, I guess. So this is my beginning of the journey of releasing my music to the world.
Cool, cool. Anybody else in your family musical?
It kind of like skipped a generation because my mom and my dad aren't, but
Uh-huh.
like their parents were. And my sister sings, plays guitar, and my brother's a DJ, also a doctor. So we're kind of got that the health professional musician combo.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so, who are your influences?
Oh, that one's pretty easy. Taylor Swift. I love Taylor Swift.
Mhm.
And a lot of the Taylor Swift fans now are kind of like the Gen Z, but I'm an old school. I've been with her since the very beginning, years ago now. Taylor Swift, Casey Musgraves. She's kind of like it's country, but it could still go on mainstream
Right.
radio. And I think what I like about the country side of things is the storytelling of it.
Mhm.
Um, and also an artist that's probably less well known, Noah Gunderson. He's from Seattle. He's like a singer songwriter as well. That I really like his lyrics and his way of telling stories through music. I also love David Gray.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah, big fan of David Gray. I went to see him in Toronto this summer, and it was like the highlight of my life. It
Wow.
was so good. Yeah.
Wow. So, what all instruments do you play? I know you play guitar.
Yeah.
Anything
Well,
else?
I started playing guitar when I was maybe 14 years old or something. And then I got stagnant with it. So I kind of just re-picking it back up again. I can accompany myself, but I usually prefer to hire a professional guitarist. But I do play. I like playing. And what else do I play? A little bit of piano. In high school, I learned the flute, but don't ask me to play again because I don't remember anything at all. But yeah, piano, guitar. I took piano lessons when I was a kid too. Like a lot of people do, their parents want to encourage them piano lessons. It's kind of like the basis of all instruments. When you understand the theory of music on piano, then you can kind of go from there.
Piano was the last instrument I learned.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
But my mom played piano and organ, and she played a whole lot of things. But when I was born, my brothers were already a generation or a decade or more older than me,
Yeah, yeah.
and they already had their own band. So there was lots of guitars and basses and drums, and
So
so
you were born into it.
I was
Just
born into
around
it.
you.
Yeah, and I didn't
Nice.
have lessons. I had to watch them and learn,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
unless I was playing a song and my oldest brother was around. And he was like the leader of the band, the lead guitar player. And he was like, no, 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 that's not how that song goes. And he would take my guitar from me and show me how to play it.
Yeah.
So that was those were my lessons.
That's a good way. But yeah, I didn't get guitar lessons. I was self-taught.
Yeah.
And then I would teach other people. Like I taught my best friend's little brother how to play guitar. So back then I used to play for like the youth group of my church. So I would just learn like those songs, and that's how I started playing, right? Because you're motivated because I got to learn these songs because we're gonna sing them on Wednesday night. So I would learn those songs, but just simple chord progressions. And then I ended up joining a band where I was just focusing on vocals.
Right.
And so I had to get someone to replace me. So I taught my best friend's little brother, who's now in his 30s, right? And he's an amazing guitarist now, way better than me. I'm like, well, that was a good investment of my time. Now maybe I could get him to play for me. We'll see. I haven't officially asked him yet, but
cool.
Yeah.
So the next thing I want to ask you about is the picture behind me.
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell us all about that?
Okay, like the meaning behind it, or the photo shoot itself, or all of that.
The whole the whole song drop, everything.
All right.
Well,
I actually found a photographer in Montreal, and he came to my apartment. That's in my apartment, on my couch, and I had just one specific pose in mind for my previous single, Hourglass. I like brought a plexiglass, and I had my hands on it, and it was like as if I'm stuck inside of an hourglass. And that's like the only picture I really wanted to get with that photo shoot. But he's like, let's just do other ones. I'm here. We might as well. So I ended up posing. That's when I have a picture of me on my guitar. And then he was basically guiding me, because I am not a model, and it's hard to model, like where to position your face. So he was really guiding me, telling me what to do. And then it was in retrospect, I was looking at the pictures after, and I'm like, oh, that one could go with the sad chase. It's because I'm like, the sad chase, it's about like chasing after something, meaning or happiness or a feeling. It's about insatisfaction in your current life, looking to run away, kind of, actually. So it's kind of, I'm looking away, so I'm kind of thinking about running away. That's kind of how I saw it could kind of fit together.
Right. You say you're not a model. The two pictures on the two songs, you sure can't tell it.
Well, those are among like 70. So, but I chose the best out of the yeah, if you saw the other ones, you might not say the same thing, but I'll accept the compliment. Thank you.
And it's available on Spotify and
yeah, I uploaded with TuneCore, and then they just distribute everywhere. So
cool.
Even if like someone wants to make a TikTok, like you could find my song to put it in the background, or on Instagram Reels. Yeah, it's pretty much everywhere.
Awesome. And also for those of us devoted fans, we got to see the lyric video.
Yeah, you're right. Yes, true. I have a special, I just started that group a couple days ago. You were one of the first members. I'm taking some mentorship classes with a local musician, and she was suggesting create a Facebook group, give extra bonus content, maybe releases before they're dropped, so I'm still developing that Facebook group, but everyone's welcome to join. When you go to my like Facebook page, then you should see the link for the group. So I'm still developing. I'm gonna kind of see what everyone wants from me. Do you want me to, I'm gonna learn a new song on guitar. Do you want me to play it for you guys in that group? Maybe I'll do like a preview on my Instagram, and if you want the full song, in the group. So I'm still brainstorming on little bonuses and that I'll be able to give to people who join that group. It's kind of like a special fan group that I'm going to start. We're only 40 now, but we got to start somewhere. So grow from there.
Good idea.
Yeah. Feel free to steal.
So the Sad Chase, it's a beautiful song. I love it.
Thank you.
I really do, as well as Hourglass. Hourglass is the one that really drew me in. So
Hmm. That was like Hourglass. I think it's probably this, I think it's the first song I really sat down at the piano and I wrote from to Z. A lot of
mhm.
the other ones, it was kind of like I'll write a poem and bring it to another musician and we kind of finish it together.
Right,
Hourglass, I wrote the melody and the lyrics. So it was really, I wanted to release that one first, kind of for that reason. Maybe
right.
it's, but yeah, that song I kind of wrote in the existential crisis. I wrote a lot of the songs that I'm releasing now 8 years ago.
Hmm.
And that's when I had a whole bunch of songs just kind of pour out of me. And then I never finished them. So I'm finishing them now.
That's good. That's good that you got a reservoir of song material. So
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
me, I just get on writing binges.
Yeah.
I'll usually will come upstairs into my studio and sit with a pad of paper. I'll pick up my guitar and start banging out some chords on it and
Hmm.
wait till I run across something. I'm like, oh, I kind of like that. Maybe I
Yeah.
can do this. Maybe I can do that, and kind of
Yeah.
get an idea for a beat and how I want the drums to sound and everything. And I
Yeah.
always record the drums first.
Oh, yeah.
So because if I don't have the drums first and I've got them right on time, then I tried recording with the guitar first, even with a metronome, and it's like
Hmm.
I
Drums
still
first.
want to stray too much from it. So I make sure I get my drums like I like them. Then I'll pick up and play rhythm guitar. Then I'll play bass guitar, and then I'll sit down and add any keyboard I want if I want keyboard in it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Piano. I use a Hammond B3 a lot, and then the next thing is lead guitar.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
play all my lead guitar. And somebody asked me today, oh, it was Rich Chambers. He asked me, he says, you do lead guitar before you do your vocals? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, why? And I said, because I've got a finished musical piece here now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I sit back and listen to it and ask myself, what's it saying? What's this conveying? How does this make me feel? And I'll sit down and I'll come up with an idea. I'll write a verse, record it, write the next verse, record it
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
until I get it all done. And that's usually, more times than not, that's usually the process of 2 days
Oh, wow.
from,
That's fast.
from no idea to a finished, recorded, mixed, mastered song.
That's an efficient way.
It is. And I've been able to put out an album every other month, 6 albums a year that way.
Oh, wow.
So I am got one more song to do, and my Christmas album. Well, it's going to be an EP. I'd only do an EP at Christmas time,
Yeah.
and I've got one more to go, and that'll be ready to release. So
Yeah. It's the great, perfect time for Christmas songs now.
yeah, yeah. I put out one last year. It was called Guitar Sounds of Christmas.
Hmm.
And then I found a different picture. This guitar was sitting in front of a Christmas tree, and it's the same color, same model as my brother's had when I was a kid. And it's
Hmm.
got Christmas lights wrapped around it. And I
Oh, that's
found another picture, and I called it Guitar Sounds of Christmas. And I found another picture of the same guitar with the same lights on it, but it's sitting sideways instead of sitting up. And I picked that, and I'm calling this one More Guitar Sounds of Christmas. Like
Why
there, I
not?
don't have to come up with such a name now.
No. Part two.
It is. It's part two. So All right. Anything else you'd like to add?
Maybe I guess people who like, it's kind of country, but the funny thing is when I was growing up, I had to say, I like every type of music except country. That's what I would always say. I like any type of music except country. And then I got pulled in by like, those crossover artists like Sheryl Crow
Yeah.
and Shania Twain, Taylor
Oh,
Swift, and they kind of got me. And then people always told me, Joanna, your voice is country, and like your voice is more singer songwritery. So I guess people who like folk or Carrie Underwood and that sort of music,
yeah.
I guess music would kind of be for you. But I'm gonna not necessarily stay to one specific genre.
Right.
I like pop. I do like a lot of pop too. So in folktronica, it's like a term, I guess, coined by like David Gray. Like
Yeah.
he does a lot of acoustic instruments and some country, like, well, guitar acoustic instruments, but then there'll be like electronic beats. So I'm going to kind of go between those two genres, but to be determined if it's like, am I going to do all one genre on one EP and then another genre on the other EP, or am I going to kind of mix them together? So to be determined, but I'm probably going to launch my EP in January. So stay tuned for that.
You have a title yet, or are you willing to give that out?
I wonder if I should. Maybe I will. I'll give it. It's going to be, well, my next single is coming out in January called Twisted.
Okay.
And that one, I think it's going to be the name of the EP as well, Twisted. And there'll be a couple more songs that no one has heard that'll be out all at the same time.
Cool.
And it was kind of hard for me to choose which is going to be the next single, but there's going to be some good songs on there.
Great. Be looking forward to that.
Yeah, thank you.
So, well, that's about all I have for you today. It was very nice to talk to you again, and nice to find out some things and get to know you better.
Yeah, and, likewise.
It's been a real pleasure. So that's going to be all for today, guys and gals, on the 15 Minutes with Tim Consley. And would you like to say goodbye?
Bye.
And so I'll see y'all on the next episode. Y'all have a great day. Talk to you later. Goodbye.